Good morning. Right now I'm going to be making gravy. And I've already cooked a few pieces of bacon. You could use sausage, or if you don't have any kind of fat, you could use butter. Just melt you some butter. Normally the ratio they say to start off with is equal amounts of your fat and your flour. So after I cook it, I like to cool off just a little bit. When it comes to making gravy, the browner your flour, the thinner it will be. So, the lighter color you get your flour in the skillet, the thicker it will be. So I let my grease cool off a little, because if I put that flour in there as soon as it's finished cooking, it's going to tend to make it just a little bit thinner. And then plus it is how much milk you put in. So get that. No, I don't want the burner on yet. So I'm going to get my flour in here. And what you want your grease to do, if you're not measuring, is you want that grease to soak up your flour. Let me turn you down so you can see. I'm sorry I did not do that, and move you a little bit closer. Okay, can you see now? You see how I'm letting it absorb it all. Okay, I think that looks good. Maybe just a smidgen more flour in there. These little areas where there's a little bit of grease standing over here. All right, that looks good. Let me get that mixed in. No, I'm sorry. I probably should have used a different spoon besides this metal one. All right. Now I'm going to turn on my heat. Turn it to about medium. I know in my biscuits I had mentioned about Miss Frances and how she had told me about the biscuits. Well, one time cooking with her, something she told me was that you cannot rush gravy. Do not cook it on a high heat. You cannot rush it. Because if you try to rush it, you're going to get a bunch of lumps that you cannot get out. So you want to cook your gravy on a low to medium low heat. And you want to do this part a little bit, just a little, to help get out that nuttiness of the flour. So you won't have that pasty that pasty taste that flour can sometimes give. But don't do it real long, because if you get it too brown, then your gravy's going to be too thin. Just do it for just a little bit. All right. Now, I like to make my gravy with canned milk. It seems to give it a creamier texture. We're going to pour that in and kind of pour it in kind of slow so you can whisk it good and get those lumps out as you're going. And then I usually will stop a little bit until I get it mixed up pretty good. Then I'll go again. Now I'm going to go fill this with some water. I think I see one little lump in there. The flour that didn't get incorporated up good. Let me take this fork and see if I can get it out. And if you should get some little lump, you start seeing your lumps like your gravy is seizing up on you. If you do have your heat too high, or if you walk away for a little bit and it starts to get really lumpy, take it off of the stove, or at least off of that eye that you're cooking on, and take some cold water or cold milk and put in a little at a time and work that out. Then you can put it back on your heat. Okay, once I get that going good, that's when I kind of like to put my biscuits in the oven. All right. Okay, it's getting thick in the middle, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And if you want even creamier, you can use milk. Sometimes I do that when I'm at home. I usually do that. I'll use milk. Of course, it depends how much milk I have. If I don't have a lot of milk, then I'll just use water. And if I'm making a lot of gravy, I'll use the can of milk, can of water, and then I'll start adding the milk from there. And you may use this whole can of water and you may not. It all depends on how much flour we put in there. And so you just cook it until it looks like the doneness you want. Or the thickness you want, I should say. And when it starts bubbling, you at least want it to bubble for at least a good 5 minutes to, again, help get out that pasty taste. Okay, I'm going to thin it down some more. I know I've poured quite a bit in there, but if you're not used to making gravy, only do a tiny bit at a time. And I'm going to just let that hang out there for a while and see what we have. In fact, I'm going to lower my heat too. It's up a little bit higher. I think it was cooking a little bit too fast, actually. I'm more used to cooking on electric. I love gas stoves. I used to have one for a long time. And then we bought our place. It did not have a place for a gas stove, and it was underground, so we couldn't put one in. And I had to go with the electric. So since 97, I've been cooking on an electric stove. Okay, when it gets to this stage where it's looking silky and it's just bubbling a little bit, you can actually kind of not be right over it so much, because it's about done all it's going to do as far as trying to get the water caught up with the flour. The only thing it's going to do now is the longer it cooks, then the thicker it will become as it evaporates out the water. So if you have something you need to do now, you can stop and do that. You know, maybe if you wanted to work on eggs or something else. Is it cold where every one of you are today? It's cold here. I think it's a little bit warmer than it was the other day, though. The other day it was really cold here. Okay, I think our gravy's about done. The only thing I may do is just let it keep cooking a little until my biscuits are done. And then see if I need more water. I'm just going to let it just stay on real low heat. In fact, I'm going to turn this down more. If you have electric stove, just go ahead and it gets to the point that it is now where it looks just about perfect, and put that stove on low. And then, you know, I may have to come back and add a little bit more water and when my biscuits are finished. And you can even cook your biscuits up before, and if they get a little cold, it's okay, because the gravy's going to heat them back up. Okay, now this is the consistency of mine. Can you see that? How nice and smooth that is. Let me get a different spoon and we'll take a little taste. Now, something I did not do is put my pepper in. I love lots of pepper in my gravy. And if you want to add more salt, you can add more salt. You know, bacon has quite a bit of salt in it already. That does seem just a little bit thicker than I like, so I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Just a moment. So how many of you are sports fans? I like football. I like watching the drag races. I love bull riding, the PBR. I love watching that. And of course now waiting for baseball. You know, I've been to a couple of course, the football games as a teenager. I went to those at school. But I've been to the Ole Miss Rebels game. My husband surprised me and took me for my anniversary one year to the college football game. And I've been to a PBR event. And they're really nice to see. But I actually really like them on television better because they get up close and personal. And then I happen to, I'm a little bit ADD and my eyes wander, so I'm kind of nosy, and I'll be looking around at everybody else in the stadium, and then I'll miss something at the game. I know none of you are probably like that. I'm sure there are some of you that you are just really focused on that game, and there's not anything that's going to distract you. Okay. I'm going to get a taste of the gravy. And I cannot say that, it needs more pepper, because I may put in too much pepper for someone. That does taste good. But from the taste of it, I think I do need to thin it out just a little bit more. Let me put that spoon in the sink. Okay, my biscuits are almost finished. Okay, I'll bring you back in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to make this 2 videos in one. I'll be posting them separate, the gravy and the biscuits separate, but I've cooked them together. And we have the biscuits are done and the gravy is done. And let me show you. I've just taken my biscuits out of the oven. What I like to do, let me bring you here so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, do you see them? I like to take the butter and just rub it over the tops. And like I said, you can make yours browner on the top. Just rub this butter over it, and that will soften the tops up. Okay, let me get a plate and I'll be right back. Get a biscuit here. Let's get one here. My husband always wanted the middle biscuits. Because why? They were the fluffiest. So we'll open that biscuit up and I'll show you the inside of it. Okay, so can you see the inside there? You see how it's kind of flaking? And that's what you want to see. You want to see it being flaky. Now let me find something to scoop the gravy up with. I'll put some gravy on there. Okay, I'll take a bite, test it for you. It's a little hot still. There are some here that could taste it, but they're actually a little shy, so they don't want to get on here and do it. That is good. That's good. Okay, if you liked the video today, give me a thumbs up. Comment below. Please share it with other people on your other social media outlets like Facebook and Instagram. And when you share it, maybe make it public to where other people can share it. And if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Then also, if you want to, hit the little bell thing you'll see there, and that will notify you anytime I post a video. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and remember to always season your cooking with love. Bye-bye.